Welcome back to Making Sense. Today's book is Midnight in Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham. It is the untold story of the world's greatest nuclear disaster that occurred in Soviet Ukraine in 1986. It won the Andrew Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Nonfiction in 2020. The story begins in the Soviet Union in the late 1970s and early 1980s, a time when the USSR was eager to demonstrate its technological powers to the world. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant, located near the city of Pripyat in Ukraine, was a symbol of this ambition. The plant's reactors, known as RBMK reactors, were considered state-of-the-art, despite some known design flaws. The book provides a thorough background on the political climate, the race for nuclear superiority, and the pressure on Soviet engineers and scientists to push forward with ambitious projects, often at the expense of safety. The author introduces key figures involved in the construction and operation of the plant, including Anatoly Dyatlov, the deputy chief engineer, and Viktor Brukhanov, the plant director. Higginbotham delves into their backgrounds, personalities, and the immense pressure they faced to meet unrealistic production quotas and deadlines imposed by the Soviet government. On the night of April 25 to 26, 1986, a safety test was scheduled for reactor number 4. The test was intended to simulate a power outage, to ensure that the reactor could be safely shut down. However, due to a combination of design flaws, operator errors, and a lack of proper safety protocols, the test went disastrously wrong. The explosion that occurred at 1:23 a.m. on April 26 was catastrophic. The reactor's core was exposed, releasing a massive amount of radioactive material into the atmosphere. Higginbotham vividly describes the immediate aftermath, the confusion, and the heroic, but often misguided attempts by plant workers and firefighters to contain the disaster. Many of these first responders were unaware of the deadly levels of radiation they were being exposed to, leading to severe radiation sickness and death. The initial response from the Soviet authorities was characterized by secrecy, denial, and incompetence. Higginbotham details how the government, led by Mikhail Gorbachev, was slow to acknowledge the severity of the disaster both to its own people and the international community. This delay resulted in a significant increase in radiation exposure for the residents of Pripyat and surrounding areas. The evacuation of Pripyat, a city built to house the plant workers and their families, did not begin until 36 hours after the explosion. By then, many residents were already suffering from radiation poisoning. Higginbotham captures the panic and confusion among the evacuees, who were told they would only be away for a few days but never returned. Chernobyl became uninhabitable for humans about 20,000 years, due to the long-lasting effects of ground absorption of radiation. A significant portion of the book is dedicated to the liquidators, the hundreds of thousands of soldiers, firefighters, miners, and civilians who were mobilized to contain the fallout. These individuals performed hazardous tasks such as decontaminating the area, constructing the sarcophagus to encase the reactor, and burying contaminated materials. Higginbotham highlights the bravery and sacrifice of these individuals, many of whom suffered long-term health effects or death due to their exposure to high levels of radiation. Higginbotham also explores the international ramifications of the Chernobyl disaster. The explosion sent a radioactive cloud across Europe, leading to widespread contamination and panic. The incident prompted a re-evaluation of nuclear safety protocols worldwide, and a greater scrutiny of the Soviet Union's handling of nuclear technology. The book delves into the scientific investigations that followed the disaster. It became apparent that the RBMK reactor design was fundamentally flawed. The lack of a containment structure, the use of graphite-tipped control rods, and the instability of the reactor at low power were critical issues. These design flaws, combined with operator errors and inadequate safety culture, created the perfect conditions for a catastrophic failure. It's a story not just about the past, but a cautionary tale for the future, urging us to learn from Chernobyl's mistakes and prioritize safety in the pursuit of power. That was all for today. Hope you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.